Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and a link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. Most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show increases the live audience, of course, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Mark. How you doing, Mark? Good to have you.
Very well, my good man. How are you?
Very well. No complaints.
Is
Found
it just
any
you and me,
curvature?
babe?
Found any curvature yet, Mark?
Nope. Still looking though. Have you?
No, not in any of our discoveries. Ranty put out some really good flat Earth evidence yesterday. I was privileged enough to let him broadcast it on this channel. He's
Yeah, he
mirrored
did, yeah.
that.
Ranty's
So.
doing well. He's the only one seem to get his hands dirty these days.
I don't know if he's the only one, but he's certainly out there in the thick of it day after day. That's for damn sure.
I have if I can find it, on Sunday I was out looking for that curve. Hopefully I've still got it. Yes, I have. Get this picture. It's an awful picture of me lying on the. Where's it gone? I might have deleted it. Looks like I have.
Let me know when you're ready and I'll pop you up.
Let's look at this. Not wrong one. This is a picture of my partner. That's Loch Ness behind her. And the stretch behind her is 10 miles, but the atmosphere wouldn't let me see any further than that. But we had a bit of fun just spending time on the side of the lake.
Good stuff.
I'll be in Belfast tomorrow, so I'll have another go at the Belfast Loch.
What are you trying to achieve?
One end of the Belfast Loch is the Harland and Wolff cranes where the Titanic was built. It's quite a significant landmark, and you can see that from 10 miles away along the coast from the Kilroot power station. So I'm going to go to the Kilroot power station. I get as low as I can to the water and see how much of the cranes I can see. There's so much detail in Belfast that I'll be able to identify what's what. Whereas when you're looking across at mountains or hills, it's hard to identify what hill is what.
Gotcha. If it's something specific like a crane, I suppose you can identify where and what and just go after the fact and find out exactly what it is.
Yeah. At the moment, Harland and Wolff are building wind power turbines. They used to build ships, but not anymore. So they're building wind turbines. So I should be able to see the hardware that they're building at the moment. The massive things when they're lying on the ground are massive.
When did you say you were going to go and try that?
Tomorrow. I'll be in Belfast tomorrow.
Good stuff. Hopefully you catch something. Whereas we were saying just before we went live, it's down to Ranty's tenacity going out day after day trying to capture this stuff, and accepting his failures and just going back and trying again. So it's one of those. As long as you already do, given by the fact that you've just displayed a photo where you have failed, it's not like you're not going out anyway. You've just got to get what you get basically, and hopefully you get something good if it's clear enough on that day.
Yeah, well, I'll get the perfect storm. And we were talking to somebody recently who said that whenever the moon and the sun is far apart, you get the clear, high-pressure days. Well, we'll be able to test that theory out soon, because I've noticed how the moon is moving away from the sun at the moment.
Sure. Have you been keeping up with Stephen Chess's channel?
No.
Well worth checking it out. He's basically showing people how to track the weather so you can predict it yourself. But his videos are getting better and better in terms of how he's explaining it. So at first, he spent probably 2 years doing this and figuring it out for himself. Now he's having to verbalise it to explain it to others. And initially, it took longer, and he's having to explain exactly what he's looking at. Whereas now he's getting it down to a finer art and making the videography a bit better. So he's putting a bit of background music on it, doing a little bit of intro to explain exactly what the video's about. But yeah, every video he does gets better than the last, so definitely check out Stephen Chess.
Hang on.
Yeah, no worries. Woof woof.
I'll just mute myself, see what the dog's doing.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, check out Stephen Chess's channel if you want to see some interesting observations of the weather and how he comes to the conclusions.
Will you put that in the chat column?
Yeah, I'm sure I could dig out Stephen Chess. I'll put a link to his channel after the show's done, I think. Or I could do it. Once there's a conversation going, I'll do it then, so I'm not too distracted while it's just you and I here.
Okay. So what was the first link for yourself to start investigating Flat Earth?
I watched a Math Powerland video.
Oh, right, okay. And just by accident did you come across it, or did somebody recommend it?
Just by accident.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't exactly remember how I clicked on a Math Powerland video, but I did. And he was talking about something completely different and just mentioned Flat Earth in the video. I was like, wow. And then I literally went and woke my wife up and told her, the Earth's flat, because within a few seconds, this is contrary to a lot of other people's stories. So naively at the time, I thought everyone's story would be the same as mine, which is to say you'd find out and go, wow, absolutely, that makes perfect sense. Obviously, that's not the case, but that's what I thought at the time, because that was my experience. I heard Math Powerland utter those words, Flat Earth, and when I woke my wife up and said, yeah, that is what I've experienced. It's the answer to the unnerving feeling that I've had this whole time, to those unanswered questions that I've put on the back burner or put to the back of my mind. Flat Earth was the answer to all of them.
Yeah. I by accident came across Eric Dubay, and just 2 or 3 questions that he had, like, at what point does the rockets pop out of the pull of gravity and out of the pressure of the Earth's atmosphere and then go into space? At what point does that happen? And I just thought, well, that's a good question. And then he also said about whenever you're in an aeroplane, where is the horizon? And it's always eye level. So that started me off investigating. And it was a bit of a struggle, because you still got all that information that you've been fed, and all the science fiction that you've watched, like Star Trek and Star Wars. You're conditioned to believe that there's a space out there.
Yeah, right. Sci-fi is the same as what I'm going to put in air quotes, science and sci-fi are the same thing.
Well, yeah, H.G. Wells put forward Landing on the Moon as a science fiction book in the 1800s, didn't he?
Right.
And the idea of satellites as well started off as a science fiction in the 1800s. So did we just all progress from that to believe it could actually be true? The Sputnik, for instance, whenever that was the first satellite put up in the air or in space, it was the first time that Isaac Newton's idea that you can put something in orbit actually happened. Yet nobody said, wow, Isaac Newton got it right. Nobody said that, which makes me suspicious. It was all turned into, oh, the Russians can now drop bombs on us from space. So it was just a development, I feel, a development of science fiction, and yet nobody questioned or analysed it. Oh, Newton got it right all those years ago. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar narrative that Math Powerland puts forward when he talks about the blue marble. So the blue marble was the net result of the moon landings. You know, they needed an excuse. In other words, they want to slip in the actual evidence, the proof, like you say, with orbits around the Earth with Sputnik. Well, with the blue marble, they can't just say we're going to go up and take a picture of Earth from space so we can prove it's a ball. They do a moon landing mission. You know, they dress that up, and then the end result, the thing that stays in the picture books, the thing that stays in the textbooks, is the blue marble.
Yeah. And everybody's just conditioned to accept it without any question.
Yeah, and from there you can move forward and get different versions of the same thing with enough plausibility, if that's the right word. People would already accept it because they've seen it in the textbooks already and accept that man can go and achieve this. So therefore, some random satellite that's been sent out that comes with the CGI rendering, and there you go, there's another picture of Earth from space. It's like, oh, right, okay. Most people will just accept that because they're under the impression men have been to the moon, and on the way they took a few snapshots, and wonderful. You know, but the moon landing, that's the main deal there. So even after the moon landings, a huge number of people now, it seems, have been debunked. Most people's cognitive dissonance will kick in, and they'll still accept the blue marble or its iterations and variations and newer versions.
I've just got to go silent for 20 seconds. There's somebody at the door. Hang on.
No problem. I tune in infrequently to Math Powerland, hoping that I'll get some amazing flat Earth information. And granted, his breakfast shows are okay with his wife, getting ever and ever more pregnant. But yeah, sometimes you'll tune into something that I can only count as a clickbait title because it's just him on guitar. Some people may love that, but you know, Alex Jones thumbnail and catchy title, you don't expect to tune into guitar playing, but that's what you get with Math Powerland at the moment. For some reason, he's decided to document his progression in guitar skills on his Flat Earth channel. But obviously, fair enough. Do what you like with your channel. It's your channel. But given that it's called the NASA channel, I'd hope to tune in and find something vaguely related to that, or the debunking of that. Okay, enough knocking of Math Powerland. And characteristically quiet today on this show.
Yeah, where is everybody?
No, mad, isn't it? Super, super quiet.
It was your bad language yesterday. Put them all off.
I was thinking about that. The amount of times other people swear, and I just say, no swearing, please. No one bats an eyelid. As soon as I swear, 5 comments in the chat, 14 replies, all that kind of nonsense.
He's my ball. I can do what I want.
It's just one of them. People swear on the show occasionally, and I swear for the same reason everyone else swears, because I'm triggered. That's the reason for the rule. You know, you don't swear because it's clear that you're triggered. And, you know, yesterday, I'm not going to lie, you know, it really, really winds me up when someone won't accept that they're using a presuppositional argument. You know, the guy eventually did accept it, but then continues arguing and playing the victim card. I just came in for a chit-chat, and it's like, Come on, Mike. You've been on this show for its entirety. You've been on since the start. So you've tracked the progression of the show. I know you have. So to just come in and use a fallacious argument and then go, well, okay, I know it's fallacious, but I shouldn't have to disclaim it at the start. It's like, well, yeah, you should. Otherwise, you're putting it forth for the audience as though it's a coherent, cogent argument. And it isn't. It's fallacious. Yeah, that's annoying.
Ruhiv's very fair, isn't he?
Yeah, more power to him. If you come in and go, yeah, I'm begging the question. Yeah, I'm assuming are. You go, man, at least you've got some humility.
That's right. Yeah. It's being honest with yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. So if he's saying I have to accept that I'm begging the question here, and I am going to beg the question in order to make my example, you can like it or lump it, at which point we say, no, we like it. Let's hear your begging the question fallacy. You know, we'll have a chuckle about it and then hear it.
Hi, Owen.
Hey.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, it's really hot out here, and rather it's been raining, so it's really damp as a swamp.
Owen, your English is exceptional. Everybody in the Netherlands speaks perfect English, don't they?
No, absolutely not even remotely. They used to, though.
Yeah,
the
when I
generation before me was great at it. We always used to just take television shows as they are and then use Dutch subtitles. Nowadays, all the cartoons, everything, it's all translated in Dutch, their own translating crew. And yeah, no wonder nobody learns English anymore.
But you get all your tenses correct.
Hello, boys.
Hey, Nummy. Have you
Hi,
stolen
are you
Alan's
okay?
intro?
Oh, my what are correct? Sorry.
Oh, hold on, let me change my sound. Okay, that's better.
Hmm?
Sorry, what did you ask?
And what about you, Nomi? Do you speak French fluently?
No, not fluently. I used to, but I forgot. I forgot how.
French is
Kind of-
compulsory in Canada, is it?
Pardon me?
French is compulsory to learn in Canada.
Yeah, in grade school it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't use it, it's pretty easy to lose it.
Yeah.
I can read French. That's my best angle on French, is reading it. Listening to people speak it, it's a bit fast. You know, it's hard to separate one word from another. But my vocabulary is not bad in reading.
Mhm.
But I can't read French very well or anything. But, you know, I can basically get the gist of it if I really have to.
Mhm. Did you read up on the comments that Science is Ace put on your comments?
Well, I responded to a few of them.
It's from Matt.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and I did some further looking into that, and I found these videos where people show how they're able to basically gain free access to HD TV and the Coup network and all of that by bypassing their satellite dish and replacing it with a traditional TV aerial antenna.
I'm just going to have to mute. Hang on, gentlemen.
No worries. I had a very similar conversation with Jamie, otherwise known as Fake Spaceman in Space. And basically what Jamie explained was that he was using a terrestrial receiver. So what we call here, or it used to be called free view. And it's just a normal terrestrial aerial attached to what looks like a skybox, what do you guys call it? Direct TV box, but on an aerial, right? And for some unknown reason, this is anecdotal, this is secondhand from him, feel free to go and ask him. But he basically explained that he started to get what we call subscription-only channels. So he was getting Sky Sports via this terrestrial signal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But for a limited time, and then it just got cut off. So for some reason, he was able to tune into what is claimed to be a satellite-only channel via an aerial.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to share a link right now that it's a guy explaining the technique of doing just that.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, this guy
Getting infested with trolls. Am I going to lose the panel to this troll? Probably. We shall see. Yep. Lost the whole panel. Right, there'll be a short intermission. Fairly standard fare. Welcome to the show.
Hello again.
Hello. Good to have you. See you out so I can get in. So the link has now been posted in Skype if you want to rejoin. Hey Mark.
Hello, back again.
Fun, fun, fun. Do you want to jump on the back door, Arwin?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Mark, to get back to your question about my English, why I'm probably so good at it is because over half my life, 3/4 of the communications I undergo are English, and what I listen to is English. So
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam twice, and I was quite amazed at how well the English is spoken, perfectly spoken.
Yeah.
I do my best.
In Germany, German people will correct you on your grammar if you're in.
When you get your past tenses wrong.
Yeah, I've literally seen that happen a number of times where, people's lazy habits of English, native speakers' lazy habits in Germans are like, no, no, that's not correct.
In Ireland, did is not did, it's done. I done that rather than I did that.
Mm. Yeah, Germans wouldn't like that. Germans are very precise people.
Yeah, but they're much better at German. They also traditionally they have been translating everything into German for a long time, like since the 80s at least.
It's a weird language. I
Well,
mean, I don't speak it, but just looking at the words written down is like, wow.
It's not Latin based, is it? Compared
No.
to French and English.
it's Germanic.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
They have a word for everything.
Yeah, all languages do that, don't they? They have words for everything.
Well, in German, they have a lot of words for things that we don't have words for in English. Like,
Yeah, but that's because English is a relatively late language compared to the others, and it's a crossover language.
yeah,
It's a crossover between German, Dutch, and French, basically.
And Norse as well.
A
Old
little.
English.
It's basically European crammed into one island.
Yeah. It's a collision-based language.
That's Dan W for the super chat. Thank you very much.
It's a kaleidoscape. So what were we talking about there? We were talking about, the
Radio waves.
you were explaining something about, I guess we finished that little bit about the satellite dishes and all of that.
Radio to the moon signal. I think there's songs about that even.
So I'll share that link again for you guys of
Good man.
how you can get free HD TV with lots of channels simply by creating your own antenna rig on the roof of your house and replacing your satellite dish.
And is that just going to work in North America or all over the world?
Well, I would imagine the principle should apply elsewhere. I mean, I think the technology is pretty much the same everywhere.
Hooray! Free indoctrination, free advertisement.
Well, it's much better than paying to be indoctrinated, right? Like if you're going to be indoctrinated, you should at least get it for free.
Less bad.
Yes, it's less bad. Well, everything is just less bad, right? Like good is always just less bad.
Nah, no, not everything is like that. Don't be a pessimist.
Well, I'm not being pessimistic. I'm not trying to be pessimistic.
Do you ever watch the History
Everything is
Channel?
bad. Come on.
No, I don't really watch television myself.
No, I don't either. I find the History Channel interesting from the old photographs of older times. But again, you don't know
Ancient aliens.
what you're being told is the truth.
Yeah. Well, I would hazard to guess that if you're seeing it on the History Channel, it's probably not true.
No, it's aliens.
What's aliens?
You know, that's sorry, it's just that the Ancient Alien series. It's like the fallback position. It's aliens.
Oh, right. Okay.
I have never seen the Ancient Aliens.
I loved it. It was hilarious.
My
But
next door
like,
neighbor,
like the experts on there, they just looked like perpetually stoned all the time. Totally goofballs.
my next door neighbor is this like retired guy who lives by himself, and he's like a total believer in ancient aliens. Like he's been, converted to the ancient aliens point of view from watching the show, and so that's what I understand about ancient aliens is all filtered through his perception. But I've sort of trying to talk to him about flat Earth lately because he's already got a pretty unorthodox position, and he's kind of receptive to it. Although he's pretty attached to his ancient aliens thing, I can see it. He doesn't.
No, but
Lives in his heart.
If you unravel the ancient aliens concept, it's not that illegitimate. You just take out the universe and the outer space, and you make them extra dimensional, and there's actually kind of a point to it.
What's the point?
Well, that they may have been involved at least in creation, or have been manipulating it somehow. There is probably an involvement
Of what?
of these extra dimensionals in creation somehow. So I'm not excluding it. It's just not from some other planet, or it's always been here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what extra dimensional means. To me, there's dimensions are just basically ways of expressing directions. X, Y, Z. Those are dimensions. I don't know what another dimension would refer to. To me, it seems just like a mathematical idea that has gone wild.
It's through. It's another depth, and you can go even deeper.
So it's
But you have to be attuned to it.
Right. Yes. You've got to have the special extra dimensional gland decalcified.
That is a prerequisite for it, yes. You definitely need that to even start to attempt to
be privy to the secret knowledge of our creation by extraterrestrial interdimensional entities.
Well, they're not extraterrestrial. They are terrestrial. They're just extra dimensional.
Are they playing hide and seek with us?
No, they don't really need to hide. They're just on the other side, looking through.
On the other side of the looping vortex?
No, just on the other side, through.
On the other side of what? The looking glass?
The other side.
On the other side of everything.
Well, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland was called Through the Looking Glass, right? And maybe that's what they're talking about.
Now, what I'm talking about is they're on the other side here, through. It's an extra depth. So they're basically everywhere, always, and you're not bound by time over there. So they can basically move however they like. They don't have much purpose because they are unbound by time, and then, purpose becomes very hard to attain. So they're dwelling most of the time, but they can definitely observe everyone and everything constantly and just
they are
reflect upon it. That's it.
Do you imagine that they are aware of us as well?
Absolutely, they're aware. They're obsessed with us. They're like the only thing that is even remotely gives them some kind of purpose.
Are they listening to us right now?
Yeah.
So they are playing hide and seek then, aren't they?
Nah.
Why did that just become a bit more obvious about what they're doing?
Or maybe they're so obvious that we don't see it. They're hiding in plain sight.
It's partly my argument about the existence of God and why does he play hide and seek with us? Why is it faith that he wants rather than appearing?
Because we're here with a purpose, and that is to find purpose.
But he's testing.
If we are all aware of everything, then there is no purpose to creation. It's about the discovery.
Well,
That's why we were made.
They created us imperfectly, and then they're testing us to see just how imperfect we really are.
Yeah.
It just sounds a bit silly, doesn't it, Nolly?
Yeah, most things sound really silly when you think about it, but yeah, I mean, I don't see the problem with this type of speculation is that it is the complete and utter lack of evidence to support any of these assertions, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to scientifically prove it now, am I?
Well, no, you don't. I'm not. Whether or not it's scientific, there's really no evidence.
No, I got plenty of evidence. It's all in my memory.
Anyway, has anybody found that curve yet? Has anybody found the curve yet?
Well, I saw a couple of curves today.
God is hiding it.
No, on women. Come on.
Oh right, yeah. The fine weather brings them all out, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the best place to look for curvature is in the female side.
I do think
And if you want to find a bulge, you have to look at the men's side.
Some women have bulges too, Erwin.
No, not really.
And some men have curves.
No, that's just wrong.
Speak for yourself, Sunshine.
Yes. Well, I do love a curvy lady.
Well, good for you.
Yes. But you know, it's a never-endingly fascinating question to wonder about how this human beings came to exist in the first place. How strange. How strange is this? What a weird situation we find ourselves in where we don't know why we're here or how we got here, and we're deep inside some occult game already the day we're born, at least our generation.
Well, a couple of generations back, they might have known. They might have just been put here and been informed, and they're just, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're the first ones. Okay, now we're going to have to create this backstory, basically uphold it for everyone until everyone believes it's real. And then just move on to the next dimension after they die, because they will be in the know after that.
Sometimes I think they may have just created all of this deception just so that people would stop arguing.
They didn't do a good job, did they?
No, it doesn't really work.
Well, no, it works on most people. I mean, by and large, it has succeeded very well. I mean, our little corner of the internet seems like, this seems like a hot topic, but you go out there on the streets and
people argue about absolutely freaking everything they can.
But what they don't argue about is where they are. Right?
Yeah, because there's so much deception.
Or how they got here.
Yeah, because
if everything was cleared up, then they wouldn't be arguing about everything.
But we started the show off with talking about how to receive TV signals, and I would like to postulate that ancient aliens exist as a direct consequence of people watching TV.
Yes. Much like the subconscious exists because of Freud, right?
Right, exactly. It's only a definition of something. So, yeah, Freud is a good example of that.
It started first with the X-Files and the possibility of aliens visiting and the government being involved, and then Ancient Aliens was basically created as the evolution idea of that. Haha, evolution idea. It's basically replaced creationism, because they probably figured out, this whole evolution story, it's not really going to work out. Too many scientists are going to figure out that it can't work. So we're going to have to somehow replace creationism.
I don't know if too many scientists have come out against evolution. I mean, evolution, whether, I think it...
biological experts will definitely do that. There's still people in science general, in the scientism community that will, like entertain evolution or be like true believers in it. But the actual biologists that really dig into it, to mutation and all that, they know it could never work, and yes, unless there were unusual or miraculous circumstances transforming one species into another.
I think that most of them just think that, you know, lightning struck a puddle one day and
No, but that still can't transform one species into another species into another species. It's physically impossible. Genetics don't work that way. And
Right,
they
well,
know
but
it. They know it. And the more they learn, the more they realize it. Even. So,
yeah, but that's a bit of a misunderstanding of the concept of evolution. I mean, I don't know. Evolution's a pretty tight theory, like if you accept the evidence, right? The problem is the evidence. But
and the lack thereof, basically.
If you accept the evidence, it's a pretty good theory.
But the evidence is mostly based on finding skulls and skeletons. Yeah. It's not actually genetic evidence, barely.
Well, I mean,
genetic evidence actually points out that it's completely impossible.
Right, but I don't know. The genetic evidence apparently also demonstrates that, you know, we're closely related with the other primates.
No, it does not. Absolutely not. We're actually closer related to worms, yeah, that I said it, than to these primates. It's absolute nonsense. What they do is they compare how much of the genetic code has similarities. That is all they do. It doesn't actually mean that if you have more similarities with the species that you are somehow evolved from. It just means it uses the same genetic Lego block constructions.
Yeah, I understand that.
It has nothing to do, literally, worms. They have more genetic relations with us.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
Long time ago.
But I mean, is that like, do you have some sort of document that explains that?
I'd have to look it up all over because this stuff I was into like 15 years ago. I'm pretty sure there are, like, you can say primates, but there are other species that are just completely different, totally different in every way, and we still share a lot of genetic similarities.
Yeah, sure, that's what they say, but I'm just saying that they say that we share a lot more with the species that also happen to resemble us a great deal, right? That where they have hands and the ears.
Yeah, no, that's just not true. That's a lie.
Bonjour, garçon.
Yeah, okay, but where are you getting? How are you asserting that? Like, I'm not, like, I have
cross-referencing. Yeah, it's 50 years ago. I cross-referenced it. This was the thing I was looking into besides alternative medical stuff. I was focused on this before Flat Earth. I'm pretty damn sure it is. And yeah, you're just gonna have to look it up yourself.
Okay, but if I look it up myself and then I provide you with contrary evidence, then you're just gonna have a conniption.
Then I'm gonna have to look at it.
Hey, Pete.
And cross-reference it with my own sources.
Hey,
Hi, Nathan. How you doing?
Hey.
You check. One and only Dodo. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello, Plain Truth.
No, me. I don't have temper tantrums.
Do.
How you doing? You were just talking about Alice in Wonderland. Of course, we're introduced to the dodo. Hang on. What's funny, Alan? What's
the
funny?
Dodo. It's the dodo. The Paul McCartney. Seeing a dodo.
Oh, you know all about this stuff.
The dodo.
Alice in Wonderland.
It's the dodo. Alice in Wonderland. Doesn't translate into any other language.
Shut your clown. Shut your mouth. Go on camera. Come on, you little coward. Alistair Crowley made it compulsory for all his students to understand Alice in Wonderland. Alistair looking back inside out, right? So why is it? We're introduced to the, I'll just say a short bit.
I'll just say this bit.
We're introduced to the dodo in chapter 3 of Alice in Wonderland. Dodo is all about the division we are experiencing within ourselves, right? We are divided from ourselves in this existence, in this realm. And I agree with Arwen in the sense, am I kicked? Am I?
No.
Okay. I agree with Arwen in the sense that this is sort of a sort of forgetful experience we're having in order to remember. Otherwise, we no purpose, right? We probably, when we leave this life, I think we're in paradise. So we're back to our primal, true nature, which is wonderful, I think. But yeah, this is the purpose of Alice in Wonderland. And ultimately, this is what the dodo references. You might laugh. Yeah, Alan laughs there. But you see, Alan's a coward, right? He's a faceless coward. He lies. He'll come on and he'll skit and he'll laugh. He won't tell his true opinions, and he won't alter his point of view on anything. So I don't care much for Alan. He's a coward for me. So sorry. I could talk more about that, but anyway.
Yeah, Alan is a liar, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, Nummy, we must have noticed at this stage that when you take the Gleason's map, it was handed to us, right, when we arrived on flat Earth, the Gleason's map, when you rotate the Gleason's map, so Australia's on the bottom, which is the way we're always used to looking at maps, well, then a bird jumps out at you. And that bird is remarkably similar to the dodo, which, when you look into the story, is absolutely ridiculously nonsensical. And you soon find out that the dodo never existed. So this is a greater sort of treasure hunt, a puzzle that's waiting for us to put the pieces together with, right? So.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. I haven't looked into it enough, perhaps.
Oh, wow.
The dodo is a continent, right?
Oh, no. The dodo is much more than that. But again, it's a longer story. I've spoken about that at length on my own Hangouts. And it's the greatest story never told in one sense, because it applies to each and every one of us. And think about the dodo, think about the word dodo itself. Millions of children earthwide, the first word they associate with a soothing feeling is the word dodo in terms of your soother, right? Slang name for a soother is a dodo. We also have dough and money, dough in terms of bread, most basic of food stuff, whatever. So,
it's also kind of like doo-doo, right? Doo-doo.
Right, exactly. It's everywhere. So for me, it's almost as if it's like ingrained into our consciousness. It's only waiting for us to put the clues together. But
don't encourage him, Nummy.
In terms of flat Earth, yeah. Listen to this. Who's this? Who said that? Because you don't want to hear.
That was me. No, I'm just teasing. Weren't we talking about this last week with the moon phases?
I don't know who that is.
It's me. I'm the plain truth, Mona Lisa.
The plain truth. Yes. Well, I think that it's quite clear that Pete is following his own path, and he needs to follow it through, right? So I'm going to encourage him, because I think I think he has to complete his work, for better or worse, for his own sake.
Well, I have completed it, Nami, and the ultimate answer revealed is Aristarchus. But
oh, come on! You never complete the great work.
No, but I'm saying in terms of the ultimate answer revealed is Aristarchus, and I know that. But I mean, no, sure. I mean, I haven't reached the end by any means. But
that's why I'm encouraging you.
Let me just say, in case anyone finds it stupid or ridiculous, the 2015 Economist magazine cover features a cartoon of Alice in Wonderland looking over the puppet show we call our national, international leaders. And there's a hidden puzzle, a hidden trail in that, and it's laid out. And you know what the solution is? It's the dodo and Mauritius. At the front of the cartoon, we see a turtle, right? Who seems to be missing something off his back. Now, we're all familiar with the turtle with the elephants on the back, and then the disc earth on top of the elephants. This is all representative of our reality. The turtle represents longevity.
Reality. Yeah.
Like there's going to be another short interlude while we start yet another hangout, as we're being trolled to all hell. I don't know if Chocolate Saying and A Plain Truth want to drop me a line on email so I can add them to the Skype group, because otherwise obviously they have to wait each time I have a delay when I start up these new Hangouts. Hi, Nami. So yeah, just drop me a line, Nathan Oakley 1980 at AOL.com, Plain Truth and Chocolate Saying, and I'll add you to Master B Skype chat.
Snipers again.
Yeah. I said in the chat just before that particular sniper joined, can a few people join as placeholders? It'd be handy if a few people did just join, but for the now, the link's not public, so we've only got about 10 minutes left on this show before I have a quick break, attend to my kid. It's been a bit of a nightmare, if I'm honest, which is why I've been so quiet. But yeah, and then I'll come back in about 10 minutes after that. But for the meanwhile, hopefully a few people will join from Skype, fill up the chat, so that there's a few people on the show before the next one starts. So yes, I have checked the link out in Skype. If you can get a few guests in, that'd be wonderful. Not that there's anything wrong with just chatting to you, Numi. Not just in the slightest. Take it plain.
Here we got Arwen's back. Hey, Arwen.
Yeah, I was too slow with the sniper.
Yeah. We have respawned after being sniped.
It just slows down the show for the people watching. Obviously, one individual wants to do that. That's their bag.
That's
the show.
All they got. Right.
Well, it makes no odds. Literally, there'll be another show in 10 minutes' time after this one. There'll be another show tomorrow and the day after that. So it really makes no odds. But, you know, if that's amusement to somebody, fine. Keep yourself amused. Good for you.
Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious that they're obsessed. So that's a good sign. I mean, if they think this is such a bullshit subject to be discussing, you know, why are they so obsessed with us? Why would they spend so, you know, think about the amount of effort and energy they really spend just to disrupt what they claim is a meaningless conversation.
Yeah, very telling.
That's something I can't imagine doing myself. I can't imagine just being so bent on interrupting an idiotic conversation that I would go out of my way and waste my time every single day doing that. That's
it's incredible. It's a well-worn conversation. I'm sure these same people aren't out there trolling ghost channels, for example.
Yeah, or they're not out there trolling preposterous things like dark matter and black holes and Big Bang and other things that there isn't even evidence to argue about.
Yeah, but that's also hypnotizing to them.
Yeah.
So they won't troll because they're hypnotized.
Well, or it's because the scientist says there's black holes, so that's valid because scientist says, like, that's their argument, right? That's about all the evidence there is for black holes and things like that. Is scientist says.
And there's the CGI, of course.
But it's been peer reviewed, man.
There's no CGI of black holes. There's nothing.
No, there is CGI.
What?
It's been peer reviewed.
Oh yeah, there's CGI, but it's not. I mean, it's not even claiming to be a photo or anything.
I just I regularly look at like news channels that do have space-related stories, and I always love that. Every time NASA has got a new picture of something, they always show a picture with the satellite taking the picture. It's like, oh yeah, really? And that's a picture with the satellite actually in the picture?
Yeah.
That took the picture.
It's very clever, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, you got to read the fine print, right?
Well, the fine print underneath it says that is the picture. So
there's suggested serving. Bottom. Absolutely preposterous and ridiculous stuff they're putting out. Non 24-hour bullshit. 24/7. You know, and that's why I encourage Pete Shea, right? Because as as strange and unusual as Pete Shea's ideas may sound to even many of us flat earthers, it makes a hell of a lot more sense than what we're being told by the mainstream.
I like Pete Shea's Just So stories.
Yeah, they're fun. They're cool. And I don't know, I think that, well, you know, not all, maybe perhaps not every one of them is, he's not right all the time. I think once in a while he does hit a bullseye, you know. I through so many attempts, you know, he stumbles across some very valuable insights from time to time. But you got to try, right? At least he's trying to think. At least he's trying to think, which is so much more than we can say for most of you guys out there who are just content to let others, experts, do your thinking for you, and would rather bully people who are even attempting to think for themselves. Losers.
I'm going to round out for a 10-minute break now, so then if you wanted to say some more enticing words, hopefully we'll get a few actual ballers coming in to debate us rather than just snipe us on the next show. No fighting words before we round out?
Oh, come on, ballers. Let's see what you got. Come in here, ballers. Let's throw down. Let's throw down on the shape of the earth now, pussies.
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. And if you hated this show, you know what to do. But if you liked it, consider sharing it. Maybe subscribe if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!